Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On a Saturday! Welcome everybody to the 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐤 podcast, episode 113. I'd like you to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I'm available on Apple Podcasts. I'm available on Spotify. So I'm everywhere, man. It's all good. Listen, I got some guests today. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
Mike
All right.
Guido, my good friend. KB, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
You know, I like this setup that you guys got here. You know, you're very coordinated. You got your All Even Live shirt there, Mike.
Gotta represent,
You're
brother.
repping the brand. I don't know where your shirt is, but you missed the memo, right? You missed the memo. He got the shirt, you don't got the shirt. You messing up the show already, man.
I love
We
it,
ain't even
bro.
get it kicked off yet.
Bro,
Got nothing to say. All right, cool. Listen, it's all good.
Hit
It's
the
all
like button. Make sure you hit the bell at the corner right there.
It's too late for that. It's too late for that. No, bro, you get no cool points for that.
Damn.
All right. But listen, we got a lot to get into. All right, NBA Finals. Golden State wins the NBA championship. Obviously, we're talking about Steph Curry. We're going to talk about the debacle that was Jayson Tatum's performance in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
We got the NBA draft coming up this week. We have DeShaun Watson news, the latest on that. There's a lot of interesting things happening with that. James Harden, they're rumoring that he's going to get a short deal. The Sixers are a little iffy on that. And then the greatest segment on the planet. Dummy of the Week.
Dummy of the week.
So, as a Laker fan, watching that NBA Finals, it was painful. Because you got the Celtics, you got the Golden State Warriors. Who am I rooting for? Who do I care to root for?
Nobody.
No one. So it's like when I saw everybody celebrating yesterday and, you know, Steph Curry's the man and all this. I gave him his props, gave him his credit. Steph Curry did great things in the finals. I think he had his best performance in the NBA Finals. But what bothers me about the whole notion of the Golden State Warriors winning the championship is that now we have questions about them being the greatest dynasty in the history of the NBA. And I don't think that's true. Mike, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's close. I'd say it's close.
It's close?
Yeah.
So you think that these Golden State Warriors match up with the 80s Lakers, the 90s Chicago Bulls?
Well, I mean, look, it's so hard to compare cross-generational, but like the 2017 Warriors that went 67-15.
Right.
It was the first year they got Kevin Durant, right? Like, that's the greatest team of all time, in my opinion. There's no team in NBA history that could have beat that team.
I disagree.
I know you disagree, but you're wrong. So
what do you mean I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
How can I be wrong? I can tell you that the 87 Lakers were better.
No, you can't, actually.
I can tell you that the 96 Bulls were better.
Yeah, but you're wrong. That's the whole
Why am I
point.
wrong?
Because you're wrong.
You can't tell somebody on his show that he's wrong and not give me an explanation. That don't make sense.
Sure I can, but I'll give you an extra explanation out of pure respect. Okay? Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry are probably the three best shooters I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Right?
That's fair.
Outside of Steph Curry, the entire team plays league-leading defense. Right? So, to your original question,
Right.
I'm not sure they're the greatest dynasty ever, but they've been doing this forever.
So you're
they
they might not
2012 or something
Right.
like that when this whole thing started. I mean, they're on like a 10-year sort of stretch with like a 2-year gap in
Well, I
the
mean,
middle,
they were
right?
dog shit back in 2012. You can't really compare that. They were dog shit.
Yeah.
They were
20
Yeah.
When did they start getting good?
The
Like 20?
well, they started getting good in 2014. 2014 is
Okay,
when
14.
Mark Jackson was there.
Yeah.
They won 50 games. They got booted out of the second round, I believe, or the first round.
Well, look,
and that's
here's
when
the thing.
Kurt took over the following year.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not sure they're at the point of the early to mid 90s
Right.
Chicago Bulls. Like,
Right.
I'm not sure they're of that caliber yet. You know, I'm not even sure they're of the Spurs caliber, but
they're close.
they have to be in
Yeah,
the
they're close.
conversation, bro.
I agree
Like, they
with you.
have to be.
What are your thoughts, KB? What do you think?
You know, I'm not really. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of have. You know, I'm a hater. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a hater. I don't fuck.
You're a Laker fan.
Yeah.
So, of
you know
course,
what
you're
I'm
going to be a hater. It's natural.
So I don't fuck with Curry like that. You know, ever since 2015, he did that boy wrong. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, although you might not mess with Curry, I think
Yeah, he definitely.
these NBA finals,
he went crazy.
For me, I think he finally showed me what I was wanting to see for years.
He could perform, man.
The ability to be able to close games out on his own. The ability to be able to rise his team up when they needed him.
Yeah,
that Game 4 performance is probably one of the best performances I've seen, not just for Golden State, not just for Steph, period.
Yeah.
Period. We're talking about the most important game in the series other than a Game 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
Swing game is the most important game because more than likely, when you win that game, you have the advantage going into it, whether it's the best of 3 or you have one game to close out.
Yeah, right.
And he did what I didn't think he was capable of doing. So for me, Steph moves up my list. Now, segueing into is Steph Curry a top 10 player all time? I'm going to look right into the camera. I'm going to have my serious face on. And I'm going to say, yeah, kind of, right?
Should zoom in
Serious face on. And I'm going to
zoom
say,
in on him.
no, he's not. And that's not a knock on him. If I say that Steph Curry is not a top 10 player all time, that doesn't mean that he's terrible. He can be top 15. He can be top 20. But the thing is, I don't like the prisoner of the moment narrative. I don't like that.
Yeah.
We see that too much in
Every
sports.
year.
When Kawhi Leonard won the championship,
Best in the
they
world.
had SportsCenter going nuts comparing him to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but that's what they do, though.
But
you
it's
know?
dumb. It's dumb.
No, it is dumb. No, but I'm saying, but that's what they gotta have the little,
Narrative,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
There's other things that you can discuss without making a wild, outrageous statement like that.
Sure.
When LeBron won the championship after the bubble, I heard nobody praise the man for being the first player in NBA history to win 3 titles in 3 different locations and win Finals MVP in 3 different locations. Nobody made a big deal about that.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry now, because people love Steph Curry, they love Ayesha. She can cook, right? Ayesha Curry can cook,
She
right?
dance, cook,
She can
yeah.
cook. She can do all that. The kids are cute. That's
Yeah,
why they
man.
like it. LeBron James' kids are all right.
Yeah.
They don't talk about his kids.
Not at all. I'm
LeBron
telling you.
James
So-
kid about
so
to be
what-
in the NBA.
Yeah,
Right. What's the
literally.
backlash? Why the backlash? I don't understand. It's the narrative. When they like you, they will put
push
you on a pedestal and they will make you better than what you are.
You know what I think, honestly, like legitimately, with LeBron James
Yeah.
when it comes to that? Because LeBron, I think, has already eclipsed everybody else, like except Jordan in most people's minds.
You know, you might be right.
So like
in regards to yeah.
everything he does from now
Right.
isn't a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
Only because like the people that love Jordan are gonna be like, well, nobody will ever be as great as Jordan.
Right.
So anything that LeBron does, it gets pushed to the side.
That's
like
a good
it's
point.
like no, it's
Nicole,
like
what you
nothing.
think about that? What are your thoughts on that one? She's
don't
like, you know
know.
what? I agree with you, Barry. You know, LeBron James he doesn't get the good treatment.
Who's the GOAT, Nicole? Michael Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
No, wrong answer.
But you know what it is too? Like piggybacking off of your point, Mike.
Yeah.
I think when your expectations are high, which LeBron's expectations were high from the time that he was 15 years old, whatever he does, it's like, whatever, it's LeBron,
Yeah.
But the fact that people knew that Steph Curry was talented coming out of Davidson, they didn't expect him to reach these heights. So because he's doing it, he gets more credit for that because the expectations were low.
Yeah.
Yo, I'll say this.
Right?
Like when greatness becomes the norm for a guy,
Right.
it loses its fizz.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Nah, you're 100% right, and I think that's what it is. The fact that nobody expected Curry to revolutionize basketball,
And he did. Make no
and
mistake
he
about
did,
that.
Yeah,
right?
it came in front.
It's now whatever he does, it's like, oh my god, my Steph, even his wife, he can cook. My
No,
goodness.
Aisha
There's-
gets so much
There's
attention, bro.
nothing
bro.
that they can't do. There's nothing that they can't overachieve. Like, it's like, really? While LeBron James opens a school,
whatever.
It's a school.
He opened
Who
a
cares?
school.
Well, anybody can open a school. I can be able to open my backyard and have kids there.
Free scholarship.
How many kids he give
Free
scholarships in the Akron area?
They can all
or
go
whatever?
to Akron University. How do you know they want to go to Akron University? It's like you just find fault for everything. I don't understand it.
It's all these
So my
Jordan
thing is
people.
like, all right, Steph Curry, he's in my top 15. He's in the Jerry West, Kevin Durant. They're all in that same kind of.
Yeah.
So who's your 10?
My
Who's
10.
your
I
10?
mean, not in order.
Well, yeah, no.
You're gonna have. I have Jordan. I have
Yeah.
LeBron. I have Magic. I have Bird. How much is that? That's 4.
That's 4.
I got Shaq.
Shaq,
I
okay.
got Kareem.
Yeah,
I have elijah
okay.
I have Duncan.
Okay.
How much is that?
8.
Kobe.
Okay.
And who was the other one I had?
Russell?
Westbrook.
Who?
Like,
Don't you mention that man on this show. Don't you do it.
He said
And you saw, he whispered it too. He said,
Westbrook?
Don't
He
do
knew
that.
he'd make you mad.
Listen, he made me upset just even saying the W. I knew it was coming. Like, don't even. But
Bill Russell, Wilt.
I guess you can put Wilt in there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put Wilt in there. So that's my thing. It's like, for people that argue the point of putting Steph in there, who are you taking out? If that's my 10, who do you take out?
You know who most people would take out, right?
Duncan.
Wilt.
And you can't do that.
I just don't get that. How do you have a top 10
without Wilt.
NBA players without Wilt? Bro scored 100 points in a game.
Bro, he averaged
100.
35 and 20 for like 3 straight
Bro,
seasons.
he averaged like 48 and 25.
Yeah.
Like, how did...
So he has
what?
to be there.
I don't care if it's against
You know what I mean?
mailmen.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
do you think
It doesn't matter if he's playing against guys over 5'3".
Yeah, bro.
It's not his fault he was tall.
Bro,
Yeah.
45 points a game is 45 points a game.
That's like Steph, right? Steph is the best shooter. Ain't nobody can shoot like him. Are we going to blame Steph for people that can't shoot like him? No.
That's like saying,
That's true.
Steph don't take no contested shots because he takes every shot from half court.
Right.
Like, what?
He just moved the goalpost. He just moved the goalpost.
That's right.
it.
You know what I mean? However, segueing, moving on.
But wait.
Yes.
Do you think he's a top 5 point guard though?
Oh, yeah. He's got to be.
I
Top 5 point guard?
I don't know because like I
Bro.
said, Mike, the thing is, he's not a point guard for me.
Well,
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
I can see what
that's
you're
the
saying.
thing.
I can
That's
see what you're
like-
saying.
but he did, I mean,
He's
bro.
if there was another category for hybrid player,
Hybrid
him
point
and
guard?
him and Allen Iverson would be in that mold,
Yeah,
right?
he played his
And he's
whole
better than
career.
AI, right?
Yeah.
People will say that. I don't say that, but it's
Yeah, but he spent his whole career playing point guard.
right. But he's not gonna finish in the top 10 in assists.
No, I know that.
He won't.
But, like,
So for
don't
me,
know, man.
how I grew up, you gotta remember, I'm coming from the old school way of basketball.
yeah.
It's point guards are the quarterbacks of the team. They set everybody up.
they
They're
pass.
the floor generals. They are distributors by nature. If you're not that, when you have Draymond Green in the system that Steve Kerr has created over there, which is beautiful, that they don't really need a lead guard.
Yeah.
That's why it's very questionable for me. Just because they label you there at point guard doesn't necessarily mean that you have point guard duties. So he's not that for me. He's more of a hybrid player.
Yeah,
Allen
but
Iverson was a hybrid.
Who led the NBA in assists this year, though? But this is like the new modern NBA, right?
Right.
The guy who led the NBA in assists was John Morant.
Correct,
Right?
yes.
John Morant averaged like 10 assists a game.
And he's not a prototypical point guard.
He's not, but you know why he averaged 10 assists a game?
Right.
It's all drive and kick, bro.
Well, I mean, that's what the game is, though.
It's drive and
Yeah.
kick. Everything's moving off screens.
Right.
Everything. Like, because I'm a draft expert. Like, this is what
You're a
I look
draft
for in
geek.
point. Yeah. Well, like,
Let me make sure you say that right.
yeah,
Draft geek.
geek, whatever. Geek, nerd, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay? But, like, that's what you look for in point guards
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
You know, you look for the modern NBA stuff. If you can just pass, like, yeah, that's cool and everything, but are
has
you
to
good
be
in the
more.
pick and roll? Can you drive and kick? Are you a threat from inside? Like, can you shoot from the corner? Like it's that kind of stuff that molds good point guards.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Steph Curry is the meta of that build. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, listen, if you're gonna, it's just like football. Like the prototypical quarterback now, you have to be a dual threat. That's what kids that are growing up now are going to understand what a quarterback is.
Yeah.
While people like me, grew up with quarterbacks that you had dual threat guys, but it was more drop back quarterbacks that stayed in the pocket.
Yeah.
So it's evolving. I understand that the point guard position is evolving, but it makes it harder to evaluate point guards from the past and point guards in this era, because how can you put Steph over John Stockton in regards to just being a point guard?
I know.
It's hard.
Those
but when you
old
look
traditional
at the numbers,
Yeah, it's different.
okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough.
Those old traditional point guards, man. I mean, those are second-round picks now. You know what I mean?
Undrafted.
Yo, last year when you, me, and Bryson Carver covered the draft last year, right? Which, again, funnest coverage I've ever had in my life.
Facts.
But, like, prototypical point guard, Sharif Cooper, right? Bro, 48th pick in the draft.
And he's talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
48. Bro, I had him top 20.
Right.
He went 48
Right.
in the second round. I mean,
I hear you.
and it's because, and he was the leading assist man in all of college last year.
Right. Right.
It's just everything now, the new NBA, because it's not just point guards passing the ball anymore.
Yeah.
The whole team, everything is playmaking and creating your own shot.
It's
like, that's all it
positionless
is.
basketball.
Yeah.
That's what they're teaching at the lower levels now. You're 6'9"?
Yeah, you can do it.
You can be the next Giannis.
You can do it
No,
all.
no. How about maybe you're clunky? Maybe you have knock knees and you can't run that fast.
Yeah,
Why
right.
do I have to be the next Giannis? But that's what they're teaching these kids at the lower levels.
Yeah.
And it bothers me. But whatever. Okay? If you want to put him in the top 5 point guards, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to be the moody, miserable old guy here. Okay? What?
Tough.
He's number 2.
He's number 2?
Yeah.
All right, now you're just ridiculous.
No,
but you know
that's
what?
not ridiculous. KB, is that ridiculous? Number 2?
Well, you know what? Listen, hold on. It may be ridiculous, but it's not the worst thing that I've heard this week. Because the worst thing that I heard this week was Andre Iguodala, teammate of Steph Curry, says that he has surpassed Magic Johnson
I seen that.
as the best point guard in NBA history.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that that's your teammate. I understand that you've played with him in a while for a long time.
Yeah.
But you must be fucking drunk.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, like I seen that. I was just like, really?
Like, it's like, come on now. Like, there's a level of disrespect that you just don't cross for me. and like, prisoner of the moment, sometimes you can give people a pass, but that is gonna echo with me for a long time. Like, you can't come back to me and say, you know what, I was wilding, I apologize. Like, you know, I didn't really mean it. No, bullshit. You meant that when you said it, and you can't take it back. You know what I mean? Like, you're bugging.
He ain't better than Magic.
No!
He ain't better than Magic.
It's not better than Magic. And guess what? It's okay, everybody. It's all right. You don't have to get mad. He's not better than Magic, it's just fine. The world is not going to end because we said that Magic Johnson is better than Steph Curry. Right?
Yeah.
Moving on to the person that is under some fire right now. It's under a lot of fire. I've seen this kid at my favorite school, Duke University, and when he was a freshman, everybody was talking about him, and he was this talented guy, 6'8", can handle the ball, smooth game. You know, things didn't really faze him because he didn't really show that much emotion. Kind of like Brandon Ingram a little bit, but a little bit more polished, right?
Yeah.
And what I saw out of the kid was what everybody else saw. I saw that. But I also saw something else that I didn't like. I saw the passive side of him, where there could be a few plays in the game and he's not there. He's very non-existent. He won't show up. He can disappear in the game and you won't realize that he's there. That's a problem for me. Yep. Now, people always say that, oh, you're young, you can be able to figure some things out. There's some things that you can figure out with age as you get better and you practice, but there's some things that you can't correct. Jayson Tatum is who I'm speaking about, and there's certain things about him I don't think that we're going to be able to see get better or, you know, fix itself. This is who he is, a guy that is very talented. He can score 60 points in the game in 3 quarters. He can be able to give you 40 without you even blinking. But he also has the tendency of disappearing. He also has a tendency of having turnovers, and a lot of them. He also has the tendency of not looking like a number one. That's things that you cannot teach. For years, we were told that Ben Simmons was somebody who would be able to grow into being a number one star. He has LeBron James talent.
Too, yeah.
He's going to be able to get there soon. 6 years in, are we still thinking that? Are we still thinking that about Ben Simmons? No.
Definitely not.
So we need to start thinking about that with Jayson Tatum. I'm going to give you guys an interesting stat that was very alarming to me. Jayson Tatum is the first player in NBA history in the playoffs to have over 100 turnovers in a single postseason. We're talking about how many players have played in the playoffs. We're talking about when they had the laces on the basketball, right? And everybody used to walk to the basket and put it in. Not even those guys had as much turnovers as Jayson Tatum had.
100, over 100 is crazy.
How? And then that wasn't even the most alarming part to me. It was one of them. But the most concerning part to me is the interview that he had and said, "You guys labeled me a superstar. I didn't."
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's
the
crazy.
problem.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Is that if the media is trying to put you somewhere where the media does that, they like to create new stars. They like to create new, superstars, the next Jordan, the next Kobe, whoever it is.
Yeah, right.
He's a Kobe fanatic. He loves Kobe. He grew up idolizing the man. But he doesn't look at himself as a superstar. That's a concern.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
If he doesn't look at himself as a superstar, then he's not.
Correct.
He's just not.
So the media should stop doing it, right?
I mean, but most of the media has kind of gone back on that, though, right? Like a lot of people are saying, like, is Tatum
because
actually...
of his performance.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is I feel like now they're kind of redacting a little.
If he would have performed like a superstar, they still lose, but he doesn't look at himself as a superstar. Shouldn't you just take him at face value? If somebody's telling you who they are, believe them, right? Yeah. They always say that. Like, if you meet somebody, you're in a relationship, it's like, oh, this guy is so great. And, there's so many things that he does well. But, there's some red flags. Believe those red flags because maybe that's exactly who they are.
I mean, keep this in mind, though, too, Barry. He's still a baby. He's only 24 years old. Like, he's young.
I just made the comparison of Ben Simmons. They said the same thing about Ben Simmons for a long time. We're going to give him time to figure it out. But at what point, where's the cutoff?
Yeah.
When he's 30?
But Ben Simmons...
When he's 28? When's the cutoff?
I get it. But Ben Simmons and Jayson Tatum, I think, are a little different. Only because,
are they?
Well, because Ben Simmons has one, catastrophic problem. Okay. Right? Ben Simmons' problem is that he can't shoot and won't shoot.
But that's actually not his number one problem, though, Mike. I disagree. Okay. His number one problem is the fact that he doesn't have a big motor as a player. He doesn't see himself as somebody that has the ability to take over a basketball game. Mm-hmm. I think Jayson Tatum looks the part. He looks the part. He's a Ferrari. When you look at him, oh man, that Ferrari looks great. But it has a Prius engine in there, right? It has an 86 Honda Civic engine, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not a Ferrari. That's the problem. Yeah. Is that he doesn't look at himself like that. But everybody else does.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how he kind of handled pressure a little bit. But I think this is something that like just as far as the series is concerned, right? Like I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, don't you think? Like you look at the Warriors, and it's Steph, it's Clay, it's like they're loaded. It's Wiggins.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston was kind of like coming out of nowhere a little bit.
Right.
I mean, it's Tatum and Jalen. And Marcus Smart, they're double teaming Tatum every possession.
That's true. Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot that's not his fault, but there's also how he views himself and the pressure that people put on him a little too early. It's just
he crumbled.
It's like believe who he is and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Don't give him more expectation than he gives himself.
Yeah.
Honestly. But we got some other stuff to talk about back after the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even Podcast, my man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, don't make it to join. What's up?
All Even.
All Even Podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this, yo, what's up, man? All Even. Yo, oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now, that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump in
All
the
Even
camera?
Podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even Podcast, right? All Even? That's your man?
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even Podcast. You cool?
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
Yeah. Put him in G. Oh. I shout him out, G.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. So, a little bit of NBA draft coming up, right? We got the draft coming up on Thursday.
Yep.
We have our draft guru here that wants to say a few things about the draft. Mike, just give me your top 5 guys, and I need to know why they're your top 5 guys in order.
All right, so you want me to go 1 to 5 here?
Yeah.
Okay, so in my opinion, the best prospect in the draft is Chet Holmgren. I think he's, in my opinion, he's the guy with the highest upside in the draft by far, truthfully. He's got so much talent, this kid. 7 foot. I mean, his arms could reach across this room. I mean, it's just incredible. He's incredibly thin. I mean, that's his negative, is that his body needs to fill out.
Right.
But, honestly, we said the same thing about Porzingis, and, Porzingis is actually kind of stocky now. Like, he's not very thin anymore.
I don't even know if Porzingis was that small.
No, I don't think that Porzingis was that small. But here's the thing, though, is like, when you have that much talent, because he doesn't just, if he was a true big, I'd have a little bit of a problem. Right. He's not a true big.
He's a hybrid.
He's a hybrid. He could play forward. He could play small forward.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of player that he is. He puts the ball on the deck. He's a great rebounder. He's an unbelievable shot blocker. He's one of the best shot blockers in the country last year.
Right.
The guy shoots 40% from 3.
Right.
The guy's just an all-around great player, and I think a lot of it got clouded at Gonzaga last year just because, a lot of the offense ran around Drew Timme, around Andrew Nembhard, like a lot of these guys that are there. Chet Holmgren, it wasn't like he was playing with, scrubs on a bad team. Like that's what happens with a lot of these guys is they go to like that weird college where they shine, but again, his numbers were really good. So I think Chet Holmgren's the number 1 guy in the draft. Number 2 for me is who I think is actually going to go number 1. I think it's Jabari Smith.
Okay.
Who,
my guy,
maybe the best overall shot creator in the draft. He's one of the best shot makers in the draft. He's got a lot of Jayson Tatum in him.
Yeah.
Just as far as skill set, he's got great size. He's got good length. A really smooth, buttery jump shot. Can hit it from all over the floor. He's going to be an offensive beast. This guy, I think. And he's one of the guys that's, I think, a little safer. You could see him produce at a 20-point per game level right out of the gate. Okay. I really think that. He's that gifted of a scorer. Number 3 for me, and now, I know that the consensus is your boy, Paolo Banchero, right? I know you. I love that face. But I fall under the same kind of line as you, sort of, because...
But why take him 3 then?
Well, again, I'm not taking him number 3. If I were the Rockets, I would love Jaden Ivey.
Okay.
I think Jaden Ivey having Jaden Ivey and Jalen Green in your backcourt is a crazy future. Yeah. That's a crazy future. I agree. Jaden Ivey's my number 3 overall player.
Okay.
He's like Ja Morant, but he shoots.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of player he is.
6'5",
kind of a combo guard. Like, that's why people are like, well, if the Kings are at 4, because if Banchero goes to the Rockets and the Kings are there at 4, you could play Jaden Ivey next to De'Aaron Fox.
Absolutely.
Then you could make that work. Yeah, it would work. But Jaden Ivey's a great scorer, great ball handler, can cut to the rim like nobody's business, plays above the rim, all of that stuff. I love his energy. He's a great, I would list him as a point guard just because I love that size at that position.
Right.
So I think he'd be a great point guard in the NBA. Number 4, I got Banchero. Just look, I know you don't. Here, I get it, okay. But the problem that I have with him is the same problem that you have. Okay,
and that problem is going to continue in his career.
Listen, it may, but his problem is for people that don't, follow as much as people like we do. Banchero disappears in games too much.
The Jayson Tatum
he's one of those players that has an incredible skill set, but you want him to take over a game sometimes, and he doesn't. Right? It's not that he can't; it's that he doesn't.
You know what?
Right? Like that's the thing.
I gotta go on a little rant right now. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The fact that Coach K is now retired, right? Yeah. And John Shire is not a head coach of Duke. I hope that John Shire learns his lesson. I hope that John Shire sees the players that Coach K was bringing in and say, you know, I don't want those guys. I don't want those guys. I don't want that prototypical
one and done.
Carroll,
you hate
Jayson
one and done.
Tatum. I don't want those guys anymore. Okay, I don't want those guys. I want the guys that look like Ferraris and they got a Buick engine in there. I don't want it. I don't want it. Well, go ahead.
Banchero is Banchero. Here's the thing about Banchero, though. Banchero has the most translatable move in the draft. Like, he's going to go into the NBA, and this move is still going to work. That little post spin move that he does, he does that one dribble and then spins. Yes. That's unguardable. There's nobody in the NBA that can guard that. There's nobody in college that can guard that. He's going to score. Listen, regardless of whether you like it or not, out of the gate, he's going to score 15, 20 a game. Because here's the thing, even in the games, this is something I noticed too, because look, you and I have the same problem with Banchero, is that he kind of disappears a little bit. But those games where he disappears, he still puts up 19, 21, 22. Like,
Could you imagine if he did?
He's still, right. That's what I mean. It's
That's
like
my
if you can go to a team that can put that all together, right? Because Houston's not a badly coached team.
No.
If he can go to Houston, go play for Steven Silas, and he can get that out of you, then all right, you might actually have something there.
I think for Banchero,
he reminds me a lot of Chris Webber. Like he's got a lot of C-Web in him.
But what needs to happen for him is that he has to go to a situation that's quiet. Houston is quiet.
Yeah.
If he goes to a big market where there's putting a lot of pressure on him and their expectations are too high, he's not going to live up to that.
Yeah.
He needs to go to a place like this. So if Houston is smart, they will take him, because if you can get the most out of a kid like that, the rewards are endless, right? But you have to be careful, because you have to put on kid gloves to deal with him, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, at this level, I don't think that you should be babysitting any prospects, but for this kid, you really are going to have to bring him along slowly.
Yeah, if you can break him open, then I think you could have something really, really special with Banchero, right? Pause. Why? Why pause?
I said if you can break him open, that was foul.
Why you gotta do that?
I'm sorry.
I'm running a clean show here.
Nah, there was another one earlier.
I don't wait.
Foul.
KB, why does he do this to me, man?
That was foul.
He's a troll.
All right,
bro.
who's number 5?
All right, so Chet, Jabari, Jaden Ivey at 3, Banchero at 4. Number 5, I actually was thinking about moving him even higher. I love Shaedon Sharpe.
Okay.
Shaedon Sharpe is one of these players that I think he could very easily go number 4 to the Kings, because this is, reclassified. He's the number 1 prospect, was the number 1 high school prospect that was going to come into next year's draft.
Right.
Like, this kid is ridiculous. If you've watched this kid's tape, he's got everything. A good defender, can score from all over the floor, has crazy athleticism. He's a high school kid, so he's, probably going to take a year to really kind of get it.
Right. Yeah.
But, outside of Holmgren, and maybe not even outside of Holmgren, right? I don't know if there's a better pure talent in the draft than Shaedon Sharpe.
That's saying a lot.
Because again, he's the number 1 prospect for next year.
Right.
But he reclassified for this year, and he still might be a top 5 pick.
That's impressive.
This is the kid to get.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if you have time, if you're a team like Portland, where you're kind of heading down the rabbit hole, you might trade Dame, you might need to kind of rebuild a little bit. You're a team like Portland, Detroit, like I said, even Sacramento.
Yeah.
Like, you're among those teams, Indiana.
Yeah.
Like
Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs, same deal.
Yeah.
You got time to kind of build. That's a kid that you should really focus in on.
I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was a parent, right, of these talented kids, I'd sit my son down and I'd say, listen,
wake up.
there's an important decision that you're going to make soon. I'm going to be in your corner 1,000%. You can always count on your father. However, there's one caveat. There's one caveat. If you don't tell these agents that you are not going to NBA Siberia, we're going to have a problem. I don't see why any kid will want to go to Sacramento.
Well, hey, maybe they'll trade out. Sacramento could trade out.
No. They could. They need to. So if they're listening, they need to, because no one wants to go there. No one wants to go there. Yeah. I'd rather send my child to the Knicks.
Oh, wow. That's saying a lot.
Than NBA Siberia. I'd rather send my child to NBA Transylvania.
Listen,
which is Oklahoma City.
He just said something really, really telling, too, though. If I'm the Knicks, I am doing everything I can to get Jaden Ivey.
I agree.
Everything I can to get Jaden Ivey.
If you can't get Spider Mitchell, you have to go get
but they're not going to.
And you know what's crazy? It might cost similar amounts to get Jaden or
But it's fine.
Or
I mean,
Spider.
the Knicks have to do something, right?
No, they do.
They probably will. You never know.
But Mike, I appreciate that top 5. That was very good. Draft is coming up on Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be very, very exciting. I hope that you and Bryson get that show going, because I'm all in. I'm all in. You know, I'm gonna come in there with my nonsense. You know, I know basketball. I know the draft.
5 hours.
5 hours of draft.
That was
coverage.
what we did last year, KB.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. I was bringing up kids from Belgium, and you were just like, "What are you talking? Like, what is going on?"
It was nuts. But moving on, James Harden. James Harden is rumored to get a short deal from the Philadelphia 76ers. The issue that the Philadelphia 76ers have is the same issue that everybody's having with James Harden, is that
he's not going to commit.
The production does not meet the superstar value that he has right now. He's in decline. Everybody can see that James Harden is in decline. When you have your superstar center say, well, y'all thought that the James Harden of old was coming here. Nah, that's not who showed up. We know who he is in practice. He kind of washed. You know, I don't want to say that.
Says
but he kind of washed.
That's basically what he's saying. That's
you know what I mean? So the fact that Philadelphia, the Sixers understand that, I think going a short deal makes the most sense, because you don't want to commit more than maybe 2 or 3 years to James Harden, because I don't know if he has 2 or 3 years left at a high level.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm starting to already see physical breakdown with him. He doesn't take care of his body in the offseason. He doesn't really care about winning. So as an organization, I would give him, I'll give you a 2-year deal with a 3rd year as a team option. We will decide if we want to have you back.
Yeah.
And, front load it. Hey, give him $50 million a year if you want to. But you're not getting that 3rd option unless we see what we want to see.
Yeah.
So, that's what I think that they should do. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
I'll let you take this one, KB. I'm talking a lot.
Man, honestly, I agree with the team option, because he hasn't been, even in the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie, when he got traded to the 76ers, I thought,
Oh, okay. You drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was at Barclays. I was watching him live in person do his thing for a little bit. But then, he got to the 76ers, and then the games is going good, and then out of nowhere, he just started declining. And even in the playoffs, bro, just show up.
He can't. He's not capable.
You know what it is, too?
Why, though?
I think
some guys just have a mental block in the playoffs.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, think about it.
Honestly, look.
With him, even? I mean, that's the thing.
With a lot of guys.
Honestly, though, in the bubble, he showed up, though. In the bubble, he definitely showed up. But the thing is, what I feel messed him up, it was the rule change. He can't get the fouls as much as he wants to.
You know? That's right. Yeah.
You podding right now.
Remember, hit the like, hit the bell, make sure
smash that subscribe button.
But you're right, though. The change of rules
has messed him
has
up.
altered him, because guess what? For years, he's had the cheat code.
Yeah, right.
I can just flare my arms in the air,
50
get to the free throw line 18 times a game,
50
up my scoring average another 12 points, so I can go from 24 to 36, and it'll be fine. But now they're realizing you're doing way too much flopping, my man.
Yeah.
You're not playing basketball.
And that's the thing.
You're actually initiating most of this contact, so we're not going to reward you anymore. That's all they did.
And you can see it.
It's not rewarding him for the bullshit.
I used to say this about James Harden all the time. I used to call like he'd average 28 points a game, but he would be the king of going 4 for 20 from the field and having 20 points from the free throw line.
Right. He would go 24 for 26 at the line.
Right. Yeah. Like
he would do that. I think James Harden probably had like a 5 or 6 year stretch where he shot and made the most free throws in the league.
Yeah.
So it's and because I don't know why the NBA didn't do this earlier, but that's the thing with me is that they don't want to change the narrative when a guy is going good, right? So we're gonna keep it this way. But once he starts to decline, okay, we don't need him anymore. We can change the rules because he's not a top guy anymore. That's not a top guy anymore.
That's the thing about the narrative of Houston Harden and this Harden is like people like they just see how his numbers, but they don't really see the numbers. Like you said,
well, it's kind of like Russ, right?
Yeah, like
people see the triple doubles.
Yeah,
but they don't see all the bad turnovers. They don't see all the bad plays. They don't see him stealing rebounds from his center. They don't see all of these bad things that he does, right?
Yeah, man.
But they just say, man,
the numbers.
Triple doubles, great.
The
Westbrook,
numbers.
he's the man. I remember when he signed.
I'm a victim of that.
Yeah, I know.
I was a victim of that.
A lot of
last
people
year.
drank the Kool-Aid. Hey, Westbrook's on the Lakers. Man, he's going to be good.
Listen, man, don't talk about my twin like that, all right? Don't talk about my twin like that.
Listen, he could be a twin. As long as y'all not twins on the basketball court, we good.
Hey,
because his game is horrible to watch. It's horrible to watch. It's bad. And as a Laker fan, the fact that I'm hearing rumors that he's going to come back because they have nothing to do with him, they can't trade him. How do you think I feel?
Hey, listen, you hear what Darvin Ham said about his plan for Westbrook this year? He's going to use him as a screener.
A screener.
Okay, so his plan is he's going to use him as a screener. And
Off-ball screener.
And also have Jesus Christ come down and be able to save the Lakers? Because that's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
The only way it's going to work.
Jesus himself is going to come down and play shooting guard.
That's the only way it's going to work. So the only way it's going to work is if you actually have divine intervention come and help Russell Westbrook. That's it.
You need Mark
That's it.
You need Mark
because
Jackson.
He's awful. But moving on. We're going to get into the DeShaun Watson rumors, y'all. We have to. I understand that it's a touchy subject for a lot of people. It's a touchy subject for the women that are involved. I don't want to make any jokes about this because it's a serious issue. Mm-hmm. They have more allegations out there. There's like 26 now, which is insane. And the NFL is strongly considering suspending him for the entire season for conduct detrimental, obviously, or conduct policy. Do you think that a year suspension is enough, or do you think it's too much?
I mean, it's so hard with these situations, only because, like, I never understand what the NFL's grounds for suspension actually are. Like what exactly is their criteria that you have to hit in order for you to earn a suspension?
Yeah.
Because that's, and I'm assuming it's all judgment call, right? I'm sure there's some policy in place.
It gotta be
but
optics,
there's some
PR.
There's some big heads that are up there that are probably, flipping a coin and saying, okay,
about sponsors and all stuff like that.
That's a big. It's a business. You got to do this the way that they
and
do
also
it.
Too,
over
I
there.
mean, think about it. If one allegation is enough, right?
Sure.
26 of them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
bro. You can't.
Bruh, like I remember when it happened. I was like, all right, cool. There's like 8. Then it was 12. Then it was 15. Then it was, it just continues to rise. So it's like even if you don't want to do something, right? At the NFL, you want to kind of stay back and let the process play out because most of the time that's the right thing to do. Let the process play out, but if the numbers keep rising,
you gotta do something.
That's an issue.
Well, let me tell you exactly what the NFL is not going to do. Yeah. The NFL is not going to not suspend him. Yeah. They're going to suspend him for something, whether he actually did anything or not. Whether they find out in their own investigation that he did anything or not, they're going to suspend him anyway, just because of exactly what you said.
Right.
PR. You got to just you can't just say, okay, this guy's got 26 allegations, but
exactly.
You can't just do that.
You can't sweep it under the rug.
Right, exactly. But what I was going with before is, like I said, this is incredibly hard to talk about just because the NFL does their own investigations with all this stuff.
Correct.
What if the NFL actually finds nothing? Like, what if the NFL, through their own investigations, actually say, like, I mean, like maybe a little something here and there, but, you know, like I don't want to bring up this whole conversation of like whether all these women are telling the truth or not. But what I'm saying is like, what do you do in that scenario?
Yeah,
it's tough, man. It's a tough call. Like for me, my opinion on the situation is that I look at DeShaun Watson's behavior, seeing all of the other things that I've seen him do. Like, you know, he had Mia Khalifa, I think she's a porn star, in his house, and they playing basketball, and it's just like he's that type of weird creepy. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of
It's kind of game he plays.
Yeah, that's the type of community that he likes to surround himself with. So like these allegations is kind of fair game in that community.
Yeah,
right. And for a guy like that I'm telling you, I know exactly the mindset that it is for him. Imagine, right? He has 13 women that are okay with it. Whatever he does, they're just okay with it, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to the police, they're not going to anybody, they're fine, they get their money and they go.
Yeah.
For him, those 13 or 15 women that said yes, for the next 15 women that come along, or the next 45 women that come along, and they say, no, I just want to do it the right way, I just want to do my job, and I want to go.
Sure.
In his mind, he's like, nah, everybody else did it this way, so you need to fall in line.
Yeah.
Because of the spoiled nature of our superstars, of our celebrities. They don't know. They don't understand that because they're used to a certain thing.
Yeah.
And I think that is what has warped his mind, is that no matter if they say I'm good with it or I'm not good with it, in his brain, it's all good. It's the same thing. There is no. Oh, you'll be good with it. It's fine. No, I'm really uncomfortable with. No, it's fine. No, I'm really, really uncomfortable. No, it's fine. That's the thing with him.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
You know what the crazy part is too about this whole thing though is that we are never gonna know the truth.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
We're never gonna know, because I'm sure that there's some part of the story that we're not hearing, or there's multiple parts of the story that we're not hearing from anybody. We're never gonna know exactly what happened. So there's always gonna be a bunch of people out there that are gonna be on the extremes of both sides that say, well, DeShaun Watson, I mean, I don't see any wrongdoing.
Right.
Well, no, there's clearly something going on.
I
But then
agree.
there's also going to be somewhere where you just got to, you just got to have to, you're never going to know exactly what's going on. And the NFL, let me tell you something. The NFL's not going to know either.
Right.
They're
They're in a
included.
tough spot.
The NFL is not going to know either.
Yeah.
The only person that knows is
I got breaking news for y'all.
Ooh.
I got big breaking news for y'all.
Big?
Big breaking news.
What is it?
Yeah. I'm breaking news.
Is
right
it
now,
draft
sure.
stuff?
No, it's not draft stuff.
Damn.
That's not breaking news. It's draft stuff. That's Thursday. Nobody cares about that right now. Breaking news, though. Seriously. Kenny Atkinson said no to the Hornets.
Yo!
What?
He said no?
He said no to the Hornets. He changed his mind, and he's
was...
going back to Golden State.
Yo, that's what good culture does to you,
However, there might be something to this. Does he know something that we don't?
Is he taking over for Steve Kerr at some point down the line?
Is Kerr thinking about stepping down soon? Because remember, Kerr has some health issues that he deals with.
Yeah.
So we don't know, but the fact that he turned down that job, which I thought was a very, very good job for him to have. Young kids. You have Melo Ball that you can be able to develop. He's a great developing coach.
Bridges, PJ, Booknight.
It was just, I call them the Memphis Grizzlies of the East.
Yeah.
They have that type of potential. Why he would say no?
They gotta be.
It's shocking to me.
They gotta
Where do the Hornets go from here?
They gotta look in the pool now. They gotta go back into the coach pool.
But who's available?
Nobody. Kenny Atkinson was the guy.
Wow, I mean, that's big, man.
If you got Mark Jackson,
maybe Sam Cassell gets a spot. Gets a shot.
Did Terry Stotts get hired, and he didn't get tired anymore.
No.
What about Mark Jackson? You don't mess with Mark Jackson.
Listen, I would love Mark Jackson, but he is blacklisted
because
of that. His punishment. You know what his punishment is, right?
Yeah,
Mark Jackson's punishment is to call the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. That's his punishment. We need Mark Jackson to call the finals when the Warriors are there. That's what we need. That's his punishment. It just, for him to not be able to get a job, I'm sorry. Like, I understand that things are sensitive and you say certain things, but it's been
years,
so
bro.
long.
It's been years,
like,
bro. Years,
people
bro.
need to have second chances.
Why?
Allow them to make a mistake again. Then say, okay.
Perfect example of that is Mike Brown.
Agreed.
What is, like, Mark Jackson can't get a job,
Yeah.
but Mike Brown can keep getting job after job after.
He's a nice guy.
That's crazy.
And for the children that grow up, he looks like Mr. Potato Head.
You gotta.
Mommy,
He's a
I
troll,
like
man.
that guy.
You just gotta
He
troll.
looks like Mr. Potato Head.
He's always trolling.
He looks like Mr. Potato Head. He's such a nice man.
You always got to be trolling something.
Listen, it's
That's his
how
nature.
my brain works.
That's his nature.
It is.
Bro.
I'm sorry. But listen, I got more to say after the break. Welcome back, y'all. So, I'm laughing before I even get into the topic because it's so creepy, but it's funny at the same time. Vince McMahon is in the news.
Wow.
CEO of WWE. For people that don't know Vince McMahon, if you don't know Vince McMahon, you're just living under a rock. But Vince McMahon has stepped down as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment because there's an investigation going on from the board about an alleged hush payment of $3 million for an alleged affair that he had with some woman that worked for the company. Now, the fact that I'm a wrestling savant, I love wrestling. I don't hide it. You see my shirt. This, to me, it's not even shocking.
Honestly,
it's not shocking at all.
Really?
What's crazy to me is that the shocking part for me is Vince McMahon may possibly lose his company because of this. The alleged affair doesn't bother me because if people understand Vince McMahon, over the years he's had, programs and segments where he's just doing a whole bunch of wild shit.
Yeah,
like he got women in their underwear and he's just doing things while his wife is there. He's fine with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, KB, you're another wrestling guy. What are your thoughts on this?
It's not like, like I said before, it's nothing like out of his his realm. Like I've seen it since I was a kid. Like
right.
Sitting here calling women.
Creep Vince.
Yeah, calling women into his office,
Vince.
asking them to do a twirl for him, bra and panties matches.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's
all Vince.
This is
all
literally
Vince.
all Vince.
Bra and panties matches. You got women in the mud wrestling. That's all Vince. Like he always comes to the meeting and say, "You know what? I have an idea.
Bra and panties.
I have an idea.
Bra and panties.
Look, pal. I have an idea. How about bra and panties?
Such good shit.
Royal Rumble.
Love it.
Such good shit. Right? And everybody's like, Vince, I don't know
about that.
Doing it.
Do it.
I don't know how the
doing
board
it.
is going to feel about that. What about our sponsors? What about the network? All right.
What about the
How
children?
about this? You're right. The network will be mad. How about we do a non-Royal Rumble, but they strip during the match?
Yeah. Bro.
That's Vince.
Bro.
So for me, it's like, okay, why would he have to give somebody a hush payment? If he's having an affair and you give somebody this money, there's a paper trail. Somebody's going to find it. Yeah. Like, why would, and you're on the board of directors at that. Like, they always check people on the board.
Yeah.
They always got to make sure that you're doing things the right way. So why would you think that even the great Vince McMahon, you would be able to sweep this under the rug and try to get away with it?
Because he's Vince McMahon.
You know what? You got a damn good point there.
At the end of the day.
Because he's Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
That's
It's
the
just
thing,
like
bro.
it's just Donald Trump. It's Vince McMahon. It's
Bro,
whoever,
all these super
big,
rich, super successful people.
super personalities.
Really affect
they
him,
never
right?
think that they're gonna get caught.
Yeah, man.
But do you think he should lose his company? As an outsider that doesn't watch wrestling, if they do find that he did do this, Mike, you think that Vince McMahon should step down
So
from being
I don't.
CEO?
I'm not sure I fully I fully understand. So what did he paid for an affair?
So allegedly he had an affair with somebody that worked for the company. Yeah.
Oh,
and
he tried to make it go away.
She wanted to talk, so I guess he gave her the money for her to stay quiet.
Like,
if it's just that, then no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Because this applies to like regular life, right? If this happens in another company, does the CEO have to step down if they find that?
Because here's
like, what do you think, Nicole? What are your thoughts on that? No? Yeah, he shouldn't step down? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
like that's the thing though, is like if it's an affair,
it's an
then
affair.
what? Then whatever. I mean,
right, he didn't do anything.
Celebrities cheat on each other all the time.
If he didn't do anything malicious.
Yeah, if it was like a
right?
assault, like,
yeah, that's different.
Right.
Yeah,
but yo, if it was just an affair,
right?
Whatever. So what?
Cheated.
He paid some woman to keep quiet. Whatever. They all do that.
All I care about
literally though
is that
That's terrible.
WrestleMania continues. If WrestleMania gets compromised because of Vince McMahon, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah,
okay?
man, I'm not
gonna be upset because I need to go. I need to go. I need something to watch. So he better make sure he does whatever he gotta do. Stay on board so I can have my mania.
Can I just tell you the one word that I wish would just become exiled from sports is investigation. Every time I hear the word investigation when it comes to sports, it makes me sad. Like, it just does.
Like, what did you do?
He said it makes me sad.
Like, honestly, what did you do? What did you investigate? What did you find?
So maybe they were watching the video of Vince actually in action. That's what they're investigating. Yeah, we're doing research here. We found evidence, and we're gonna be in the back room, and we're going to be reviewing this.
We found
Give
records
us 2
of the
hours,
hotel they
and
stayed
we'll figure
in.
it out. They're watching Vince McMahon back, like being creep with his his old skin rubbing on some young woman.
Old skin.
His old skin that's like falling off of him on some young woman.
Like his droopy old skin.
Looks like the crypt keeper that's on some young woman. What are we doing? What are we doing?
God.
Just leave the old man alone. If he wants to do that, he can do that.
He cheated. It's bad.
Right, it's bad. But listen, here's the thing. If Linda's okay with it,
it's all right.
Why should everybody else be okay with it, right?
You know,
if his wife says, hey, he's been doing this for the last 35 years.
On TV.
What are you investigating? What are you investigating?
Well, yeah, that's my whole thing.
Right?
It's like, yo, you got to lose your whole company because you cheated on some.
But at the same time,
you cheated on your wife with some woman and you paid her to go away.
At the same time, too, as the person that's doing that, you have to be smarter, right?
Yeah, no,
you gotta be smarter. Like, why would you even put yourself in jeopardy to lose whatever you built? For that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of times where we don't use our brains as men, right? We do some stupid stuff. But for you to lose $1 billion empire because of that, that's crazy. A bit dumb.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know what I mean? It's a bit dumb.
So, back in the day, I don't think it would affect his, his status as CEO, but now.
But now it's I agree. Like, this happened back in the 90s. Nobody would care because
nobody would care.
It's 90s, right? But now things are a little bit more heightened.
But you know what? People hear the term hush money now.
Yeah.
Like the term hush money.
Yes.
And they're just like, oh.
Some big shit.
Like that. Yeah, right?
Hush money.
Right, and it's like it's just
ban him from existence.
Like, you know,
goodbye.
Investigation.
Investigation. Yeah, there's an investigation. Oh, what are we investigating? What is he guilty of?
Right.
Oh boy, what is this? Like,
I agree.
Exile the word. If I hear the word investigate, Sports Center,
CBS Sports,
save it
don't
for
even do it.
PTI.
Fox News, don't do it. Fox Sports, don't do it. FS1, I don't want to hear it.
Save it for OTL, man.
Yeah.
Save it for Outside the Lines.
I got you. I agree. Now,
honestly, I just feel like he got hit with a lot of pressure, and he just folded.
Yeah, he caved. I mean, he old now.
Yeah,
he don't have the same fight that he used to have.
Yeah, man.
Like, all right, just go ahead and do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm old. Like, what you gonna do to me?
I was gonna retire.
Yeah,
anyway.
I was gonna pass it on to my kids anyway. So whatever.
That's like the mind-boggling thing.
Yeah.
Like, why did you give her $3 million? Like,
that's a lot of money too.
Yeah, and it's like
that's how much he gave her to go away. $3 million,
and she still gonna go away.
Yo,
I ain't gonna lie to you. If somebody give me if I'm mad about an affair, and you give me $3 $3 million.
I'm gone.
Maybe I could just go away
I'm
and
gone.
not bother you
Can
anymore.
I have an affair
Right.
with an
I'm
athlete,
gone.
bro?
Can I have an affair with Vince McMahon?
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Yo, can I get a piece? Yo, you know what I would want though? I don't want $3 million. I want a piece of that WWE pie.
Give me some stocks.
I want some
Give me
stake in
2%.
the company.
Yeah,
Give me
some
2% of WWE.
Yeah, right.
All right with that.
Then I'll go away. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Then I'll shut up for good.
I want to be
Like,
in on
you
the
know?
shareholder meeting.
If somebody even says Vince McMahon's name, I'm fighting them.
Yeah. it's
I'm gonna defend you. Don't you dare talk about Vince. He's a beautiful person. He's great. Okay? But he fired you. Don't worry about
Don't
that.
worry, he fired.
We have an agreement.
It's all right.
We're good.
He paid.
We have an
You know what I mean?
I'm still
agreement.
getting paid.
But
That's another term I love. An
moving
agreement.
on to the last segment of the show.
Dummy of the week.
The greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. Dummy. Yeah. Who do you think is the Dummy of the Week? I'd like to ask you.
My guess?
Yeah.
Jayson Tatum.
Jayson Tatum? Who's your
Vince.
guess? Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
Who's your guess, Nicole? She has no idea, right? She's just here. She's just here looking cool. My guess, or my winner for Dummy of the Week, is neither of those two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, neither of those two.
Okay.
You're close.
I'm close?
You're the closest. So, may I have a drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week is the Boston Celtics fans. The entire fan base of the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are my winners for the Dummy of the Week because they trolled the Golden State Warriors so bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, man.
they actually allowed Golden State to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they got their ass kicked for it.
Yeah. Man.
Boston has a problem with talking too much. Their fans, like, if you're going to compare Boston fans and Philly fans, I think Boston fans are worse.
Oh yeah.
Philly fans are bad.
They're
Boston
loud.
fans are worse. Because not only are they loud and obnoxious, but they're also racist.
Yeah. Bro.
But they're also racist. So that comes with it, right? So you put all that stuff in a ball, and they're always going to be the villains. They allowed Golden State to win this championship, and for that, Boston fans, you guys will always be on my shit list. You allowed Steph Curry to get another championship.
Wow.
Now everybody's talking about Steph Curry being
He's
better
the-
than
he's
LeBron
the
James.
greatest,
They talk
like-
about Steph Curry being better than Magic Johnson. This was a what do you call it? A snowball effect because of those Boston fans. That's what they did. That's what they did.
Yeah, man.
You're right.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, all you Boston fans at home watching this.
Instead of them just
It's
sitting
your fault.
quiet and shutting up
It's
and
your
just
fault.
allowing the games to just
Like-
go on, they're trolling, Steph Curry's wife, Aisha Curry. She can't cook. I don't really like her dishes, but just leave her alone. Just leave her alone.
She cooked for you too?
No. But I've seen what she. I'm not a big fan. But listen, but even if I'm not a big fan, I'm not gonna wear a shirt that she can't. Like, don't do
You're
things
taunting.
like that. That's
Yeah.
Steph Curry. You're gonna make him upset, and then he's
Yeah.
gonna kill you, and then he's gonna win Finals MVP in your building on your floor.
That's
That's
disrespectful.
what happens.
That's really disrespectful. To win on the
Yes,
and he
That
It's your
always
fault,
happens
Boston.
though, right?
always happens.
I feel like every
Boston's
playoff series,
fault.
especially in the NBA,
Like-
is won on the opposing team's floor.
Yeah, because the fan base talks too much. That's what happens.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You just need to shut up. Just allow the thing to happen just organically. Don't poke the bear. Don't make Draymond Green look like the hero because he was having such a terrible series. And then Game 6, he actually was starting to hit shots.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And
believe
starting to.
dancing.
And now you saw the shirt that he was wearing.
He's a clown.
He's a clown. But you Boston fans allowed him ammo and fuel to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Boston fans are just
I'm not gonna
Boston
lie.
fans, they just say Marcus Smart too
Mark
much.
is smack.
Marcus Smart.
Jayson
You know
Tatum.
co-op. You know our co-op.
I had so much faith in them before the final started.
Why? It's Boston.
Don't say Jayson Tatum, he'll get mad.
Right.
It was no a collective team effort. No. It was.
You got Boston fans say Jayson Tatum's better than Kobe.
Oh, see, no.
Nuts.
Nah, man, nah.
So they deserve this. They deserve this loss. They deserve what happens to them. They deserve the ridicule. They deserve the bashing. Anybody who's a Boston fan right now, you guys can go fuck off. Everybody can be able to fuck off because you caused this. You caused this wave of emotion for Steph Curry to
Yeah,
happen.
man,
You created this
like-
story, and for that, I will forever hate you guys.
You know what? Let me remind Boston fans too of another reason why they should just sit in the corner and
Yeah.
shut up. Who's in first place, baby?
There you go.
Who's in first place?
There you go.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
So Bryson, I'm sorry, but you need to shut up as well. But he's a weird fan too, because he's a
Golden State, Red Sox.
You know,
like what is he doing?
He's just odd. He's just odd.
It's because he's got nothing down there in Tennessee.
He's gonna have to.
He don't want to be a Titan fan.
Is he a bandwagon Gold State fan?
No, he's a real fan. He's a legit fan. He's a legit fan.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like 12 years old.
He's a legit fan. I'm not going shit on my guy. He's a legit fan.
I love Bryson.
But
man.
Boston Celtics fans, you guys are the biggest losers right now because you allowed Steph Curry to be able to have this storybook ending to his season, and it was disgusting. But you're winners for W of the Week. That's all for the show for this week. Fellas, I appreciate y'all for coming on the show.
Make sure you hit the
great content.
Yo, smash that subscribe button.
Make sure you hit the link in my description.
In my description, yep.
On what description? Not your description. My description.
Description.
In his description.
Keep out for a video every week. That's all even for you. Yeah, we out here, you know.
Peace.
My son is the champ, so get over it.